the weights that you used on the that's in the video, I'm assuming, looked really heavy. Now, that's a very good question. Wouldn't lifting such weights bulk you up? Then you follow on, my local park is an outdoor gym, which I sometimes use on a dog walk. The leg press thing is the only one I recognize in the park. I'm surprised it's even got a leg press actually, but it might do, yeah. Let's go back to that question. The size of the weight is not the thing that bulks you up. Weight training strengthens muscles, and the size of the weight is irrelevant. You could only lift those heavy weights in a squat. You couldn't lift them if you're doing like an arm curl. So different muscles, different size muscles, you're using different sized weights. And it's not so much the fact that you're lifting weights that makes the muscles increase in size. It's the way you train with weights that does that. That's a huge question, actually, because that's one of the most common fears about weight training, is that it's going to make you big and bulky. I don't know if there's a short answer to that, but I'll try. It's the way you train with weights and the amount of volume you do with weights, and probably even more important, the volume that you are eating. Now that comes into play with nutrition. Nutrition can be designed. Let's look at nutrition from the perspective of either gaining or losing weight, because you can choose either way. Now, it won't matter whether you're weight training or not. If you wanted to lose weight, you reduce your overall calorie intake. If you want to gain weight, you increase your overall calorie intake. Now, with the weight training, you're making muscles stronger, and by weight training, you are ensuring that you're not losing muscle if you are in a losing weight phase, if you've reduced your calories. It's called a deficit. So if you're in a deficit, it's because you want to lose fat, not muscle. So by training with weights, you ensure that the muscles stay there, but you lose the fat, but you are still losing weight because you've reduced your calories. Let's say you want to get big and bulky, because some people do have that goal, bodybuilders, for instance. What they do is they go into a calorie surplus. So they are eating more calories, and they ensure that they're eating more protein than anything else, or they still need to eat carbohydrates. And when they're weight training, they're building the muscles, but it's actually really, in essence, the calorie quantity that's making them gain weight. So I hope that helps. It's not weight training that makes you big and bulky. It's how you train and eat that determines your size. So if you're in a calorie deficit, you're not going to put on weight. You're definitely not going to become big and bulky. There's another answer to that as well. The amount of effort required to get to the size that nearly anyone would be worried about is enormous. The effort that bodybuilders put in to getting to that size is incredible. It's an enormous amount of work. It's a full-time job. And even then, a lot of people struggle to put on that size. That's the biggest difficulty in bodybuilding, is actually putting on muscle size. So for the average person, you just do not need to worry about it. Here's another answer to the question. If you decided you were getting big and bulky, you simply stop. You simply reduce the quantity of both food and training that you're doing, and you stop wherever you want. There is no danger that you're going to wake up one day and look huge. It just doesn't happen. So that fear, I really wouldn't worry about that. And definitely don't worry about the impression that the weights are large. That has nothing to do with it. It's the way you train and the way you eat that makes the size. I hope that answers that question. Just let me have a quick look. Some more questions coming through.